Welcome back. Let's straight away talk about the stocks that should be on your radar as well. Our team is standing by with a list of top 10 stocks to watch. We'll, of course, start off with what else but Wipro. A bit disappointing, Rima?
Q1 guidance disappoints. The company is guiding for minus 3.5 to minus 1.5% for the June quarter. The company says this is on account of the rise in uncertainty, which has led to the clients becoming more cautious. They also said clients are taking a more measured approaches when it comes to transformational projects and discretionary spends. And in the press conference, they also gave examples of how, one of the large transformational projects got paused and that impacted growth. That said, the Q1 guidance was disappointing. Q4 revenue was also lower than street estimate, declining by 0.8%. But the company did well on the margins. They managed to defend margins at 17.5%, and the deal wins were very, very strong. Morgan Stanley, Bernstein have an underweight call on Wipro. UBS, though, on the other hand, says that they see limited downside from here on. The pain that the IT industry is witnessing is more temporary. It's not structural. And any signs of a recovery in discretionary spend will result in a recovery in the PE multiples. So they've got a buy call on Wipro. But for the day, the ADR was down, more than 3% overnight. I'm going to go with red, given the muted guidance.
Okay, all right, Rima, thanks for that. Well, remember, we'll connect with the management of Wipro at around 8:35 a.m. later today. But let's focus on a couple of other results. Angel One's the stock on our radar. Upasana joins us to tell us how they were. Upasana, take it away.
Good morning, Nigel. Well, the company has reported a weak set of numbers. It is a sequential decline across board. Now, higher operating expenses has led to the decline in margin and profitability. Company's cost to income stood highest in Q4 in the year at 71.6%. Now, coming to gross client acquisition, they also slowed down and saw a degrowth of as high as 22.4% in this quarter versus 30% growth in last quarter. Now, talking about total client base, it saw an uptick of just about 5% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. And company's market share in equity, F&O and commodity also declined, barring cash segment, which saw an uptick of nearly about 20 basis points. Now, coming to the numbers, revenue saw a downtick of 16%. This was mainly impacted due to 21% fall in company's net broking income. Order volumes, which is a key revenue driver, also fell by 23%. Company's margin saw a downtick of 680 basis points, stood at 32.5%, and PAT saw a downtick of as high as 38%. Sequentially. Now, company's average daily turnover also saw a downtick of nearly about 20%. Now, company says that the FY25 performance subsums regulatory changes and even softer market conditions. So, all in all, going with the red.
All right. Thanks very much for that. Angel One in focus. Let's talk about 360 ONE Wealth Management. Nimesh is joining us now. The news has come, but Nimesh told us first, as part of his chatter, that there is a strategic announcement coming, and it indeed is a strategic investor who's coming into the company, Nimesh.
Well, Prashant, looks like there's going to be a strategic investor who's going to come in. So the news is that there is a board meeting scheduled on April 22nd to consider a preferential and/or warrant issue by 360 ONE. So it looks like there is going to be a strategic investor. My sense is going to be a sizable stake that a global wealth company is going to buy in 360 ONE. But unlikely that it will be large enough to trigger an open offer. So from a retail shareholder point of view, looks like there won't be a large open offer, so to speak. Interestingly, if you look at the shareholding pattern, one large investor is Bain Capital. They own 23% stake. So need to see as to how things pan out. But looks like on 22nd, you will hear a global wealth management company buying a significant stake in 360 ONE.
Okay, quite interesting. So definitely we'll be keeping that stock on the radar, Nimesh, and thank you for the early alert on this as well. Back to Rima then. She's watching out for Sonata Software and Tanla Platforms. Rima?
Sonata Software has issued a revenue warning for Q4. So they've informed the exchanges that the revenue estimates from their largest client is going to be lower than what they were anticipating, and therefore the international business revenues will not meet what the company was hoping to achieve in Q4. Investor call is on 6th April. The stock is down 44%, but you could expect some more weakness today. Tanla Platforms, on the other hand, has announced that they've partnered with 2 overseas telcos for the deployment of messaging as a platform for rich media messaging. This is the company's first deployment outside of India, will go live in Q1 FY26. They can't share more details on account of confidentiality, but considering the way the stock has fallen, it's down more than 50% from its 52-week high of 1086. You could expect some relief on that stock.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Rima. Well, let's go across to Vinny. She's tracking a few names. The pharma company, Glenmark, Prestige and Puravankara. Vinny, morning.
Good morning. So, starting with Glenmark Pharma, some positive news coming in after the company has launched amphetamine tablets. Now, there are different strengths of these tablets which they've launched, and this is in the US market. They've launched this product. They'll start the distribution coming in from May 2025. These tablets are mainly used for treatment of ADHD. So, yes, important tablet coming in on that front. Market size, when you look at it, the sales data as per IQVIA for Feb 2025 12-month period, the sales data for this drug from other peers was around $422 million. So an important one coming in for Glenmark Pharma over there. Other than that, talking about the real estate names, we have Prestige Estate that's in focus on the back of its pre-sale numbers. Now, Q4 pre-sales numbers, yes, they were good. We're seeing a growth of 48% on a year-on-year basis for Q4. Mainly, this was an improvement in terms of the launches that has led to a good growth is what the management highlighted in their release as well. But overall, for FY25, the pre-sales have missed the guidance. The FY25 numbers somewhere around 17,000 crores. In Q3, they spoke about around a 22,000 target that they had for pre-sales for FY25, so miss on that front coming in. So overall, we could see some bit of a red because the miss in terms of guidance for FY25, mainly because of delayed launches. That is why FY25 was impacted. Puravankara, we're expecting red here as well. Pre-sales came in at 1,282 crores, which is a degrowth of around 34% on a year-on-year basis. Sustained sales was the only thing that supported the growth, and it was a bit of a respite coming in for the company. Collections saw just a growth of 9% for FY25. There was a lot of delays in terms of approvals coming in for Puravankara, and that is why FY25 was not that great a set of numbers that we are expecting from Puravankara, and that is why red on the screen is what we could see.
All right, thank you very much for that, Winnie. Let's talk about BHEL and Dalmia Bharat now. Vivek is here with details. Vivek, morning.
Well, good morning. News flow coming in on both of these names. BHEL, yesterday the company informed the exchanges that they'd signed a technology transfer agreement with the Baba Atomic Research Center. They've gone ahead and formed a JV, and this JV will see a technology transfer agreement for electrolyzer systems for hydrogen production. This particular technology will go ahead and aid indigenous development of alkaline electrolyzer systems, a positive development as far as BHEL is concerned. Dalmia Bharat, a negative development, but this particular development pertains to a case that's as old as 2011. So, Enforcement Directorate of Hyderabad attaches land of DCBL worth almost a little over 790 crore. The historical purchase value was at 377 crore. The case was registered in 2011 by CBI, and CBI had made allegations against DCBL regarding investments in a certain entity called as Bharati Cement Corporation, and this was for alleged violation of the PMLA, which is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. So slight negative, but it'll be interesting to see what is the eventual outcome of this particular case.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Vivek. Well, let's do a quick recap of all the top stocks we discussed, the ones with positive news flow. 361 WAM, Tanla Platforms, Glenmark Pharma and BHEL. While stocks with negative news flow, Wipro, Prestige, Angel One, Sonata, Puravankara and Dalmia Bharat. Well, we'll slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll connect with Deepan Mehta of Alexa Equities for some fundamental stock talk.